You just got your orders, you are PCSing to Hawaii, and your next duty station is Schofield Barracks. You're excited, you've got a ton of emotions going on, and you have absolutely no idea what you're getting yourself into. That's all right. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are in the same position you are, and now they're searching the internet, they're searching YouTube, Google, everything, right, to try and find something about Schofield Barracks to help them prepare for this massive move that you're about to do, right? So in this video, we're actually going to talk all about Schofield Barracks. I'm going to show you where it's at, give you a little bit of historical context. We'll talk about on-post housing, off-post, all these things in this video that we're going to talk about right now. What's going on, you guys? My name is Ryan Strong. I'm a real estate agent out here in Hawaii on Oahu. I'm also a military veteran, 4 years as a combat medic in the Army, and I know exactly what you're going through with this PCS process. Well, this channel is all about living in Hawaii and here to help you with that PCS process. So if you're new to this channel and you want to stay up to date, you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I put out a new video on this channel. And honestly, I'm getting so many texts, calls, emails about other military service members who are PCSing to Hawaii, and they're scheduling Zoom calls with me down in the description below so we can talk about their move and whether they should or consider living on post or off post, wherever that best fits their lifestyle and their family needs. So if that sounds like you and you want to talk to me about your PCS, go ahead and schedule a Zoom down in the description below. Shoot me a text, send me an email, however you want to get a hold of me, all right? I got your back when moving to Hawaii. All right, Schofield Barracks. This is going to be your next duty station. This is most likely going to be the next place that you call home for the next 3-ish years, right? Yeah, that's typical, right? 3 years, and then we move. Army brat and veteran, so I know the drill, right? I'm very familiar. So Schofield Barracks actually was being constructed in 1908, right? A little bit old, and that's exactly what you can expect out here in Hawaii too, with some historical things that have happened around here, especially with like Pearl Harbor, right? But Schofield was being built back in 1908, and so even when I was a kid and we were stationed here at Schofield, even the homes back then just seemed a little dated. More of the cinder block style homes and the AC units and stuff, it just seemed pretty dated. And a lot of Schofield still is very dated. That's not to be remiss at all. But yep, 1908, and it is the home of our Army, right? Military service members, our Army soldiers PCSing out here will most likely be stationed at Schofield Barracks, or most of them will be. All right, we're gonna get a map pulled up here in just a second and to show you where Schofield Barracks is at and areas around it. Before we pull up the map, I want to talk to you about a few things that you need to know right when you get here. And I can tell you this information because my brother-in-law is actually an E6 stationed here at Schofield currently before they PCS out, and he is part of the in-processing team. And so I have this information directly from him about what you need to be doing. And we're gonna start directly at the airport. Okay, so right when you get here, and I'm asking him, and he's like, you can't stress this enough. You need to go to baggage claim 19, okay? Baggage claim 19, there will basically be a kiosk there for you PCSing to Schofield, and they're gonna have all the information that you need, regardless of rank. I know how some of you higher ranks get, you know, and I get it, it's okay, but every single person, regardless of rank, needs to go to baggage claim 19 to get directions on what you will be doing. He has also basically sent me your 4-day in processing, okay? When you get here, depending on if you've been vaccinated and some other things, you might have ROM, or ROM, or restriction of movement, okay? And it also depends on the day you get here. So he's telling me if you get here basically on a Wednesday night or a Thursday, you're gonna have to wait till over the weekend, and then starting on Monday, that's when your 4-day in processing will start. All right, and I actually have it right here on my phone about what he had sent me, where you're gonna have, you know, your first day, you're gonna have movement to building 750, and this all could change by the time you PCS here and by the time you see this video. All right, but this is what I have at the moment as of the end of June, heading into July of 2021. Okay, in your first day, you're gonna have, you know, a financing brief intake. You're gonna have, you know, a movement to a field. You're gonna have a patching ceremony. Then on day 2, you're gonna have family advocacy programs, accountability, a bunch of things that, you know, to help you with your PCS out here. You're gonna have to do a run. Where is that one? You're gonna have to do a run. Sorry, I'm looking down at this. I have the sheet right here. So it's about a 4-day thing though. And again, you need to be aware of restriction of movement and these types of things. So if you do get here on that time where it's like a Wednesday or a Thursday, then you definitely probably gonna have to stay in a hotel over the weekend. And when you are on restriction of movement, that means restriction of movement. You are not allowed to leave your place that you are assigned to unless it's for, I believe, and I want to say personal like hygiene and food. That's about it. Other than that though, there could be, you know, you could get in trouble if you decide to break that. So be aware of that. Baggage claim 19 will have all the information that you need to get you squared away. Okay, he wanted me to really put that out there because obviously a lot of soldiers, right, are not following these instructions. So baggage claim 19, go there. They should have all the information that you need for you. All right, now let's go ahead and pull up a map so that you can get an idea of where your next duty station is in Schofield Barracks. Schofield Barracks is centrally located on Oahu. All right, and you can see it right here on this map, and then there's a couple little towns around it, and it is on the base of mountains as well. So those mountains on the west side are the Waianae Mountains. Now, you cannot necessarily get to Waianae from Schofield, but that's just the base of those mountains. The towns around Schofield are going to be Wahiawa and Mililani. All right, Mililani is one of the most sought after towns for anybody, not just military, but one of the most sought after towns because of its central location and the almost mainland suburb like feeling that you get living in Mililani, and a lot of military do live in Mililani. Right next to Schofield, you're also going to have Wheeler Army Airfield. Okay, Wheeler Army Airfield is home to the headquarters of the U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii. All right, and in Hawaii alone, we have over 20 military installations across the state. In this general area, you're gonna have Wahiawa General Hospital, Ka'ala Elementary, Wheeler Middle School. You're gonna have Lelehua Golf Course. You got Wheeler Army Airfield, like we said, we got a commissary, and we got a post exchange, okay? These are things that are gonna be in that general area, in that proximity of Schofield Barracks. Again, my parents were stationed here when I was a kid at Schofield. I went to Wheeler Middle School for a little bit of a time before transitioning, and we actually moved to AMR, and I went to Aliamanu Intermediate. Again, I was stationed here as a kid. Initially, we did live on Schofield, and these were things that are a little bit more dated. And then we transitioned over to Wheeler, where we lived, we moved to AMR, and then I was going to Aliamanu Intermediate, and then eventually transitioning off post, where my parents eventually retired here. And then we start to figure out the communities, right? Where are the good communities, where are the communities that we want to continue to be a family, and those types of things. And I now currently live in Eva Beach, okay, which is on the southern shores of the west side, right? So these are some of the things that we're gonna talk about now with on-post and off-post housing. But before we do that, I do want to go ahead and let you know that if you do like this video, please definitely hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and anybody else who is looking for the same information and is PCSing the Schofield Barracks, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. One of the videos that I'm going to be uploading here pretty soon is going to be a on-base house tour. I'm going to be touring a base. I'm touring a home on Schofield to give you an idea if you want to live on post or off post, and what some of the styles of homes look like as far as living on post. Because we all know that if you do live on post and you decide to not receive your BAH, essentially you're just putting or giving all of your BAH back regardless of the amount of utilities and things that you use, okay? So I will be doing a home tour. Stay tuned for that video. Right, so I showed you where Schofield was on the map and some of the things around it. Now we're gonna talk about those areas because, like I mentioned, my parents transitioned out and basically to retire here. And now I live here in Eva Beach, and I've lived in several different areas, basically trying to find the right place that I wanted to raise my family, because I do have 2 boys. So that's something me and my wife were really trying to figure out, as far as what part of the island do we feel is best to raise our family on, and affordability as well, right? So talking about areas, drive times, things like that, where you may consider wanting to live if you do decide that you don't want to live on post and you want to live off post. Well, this also determines if you have family like I do, if you have kids, or if you're single and you want to enjoy a little bit of the island life, and what kind of island life are you looking for, okay? A lot of times military, single military will often live up north in Haleiwa. Okay, Haleiwa, if you haven't seen it, I did a vlog tour of Haleiwa. I actually started in Pupukea at Sharks Cove, come down to Haleiwa, went through Haleiwa town, showed some of the homes and things out there. Haleiwa is typically about a 25-minute-ish, depends, drive north, right, from Schofield Barracks. Not too far, okay? That's one of the great things about Schofield Barracks and it being centrally located is because it's not on the west side, so we don't have to worry about an hour plus drive time all the way to the east side, right? Or vice versa, right? It's smack dab there in the middle, and so a lot of things are pretty accessible. A good amount of military do live in Mililani, obviously with proximity, and as I mentioned before, the suburb mainland home feel, okay? Because Mililani isn't necessarily close to beaches. You're not going to be living on the water. You're actually living in over 600 feet of elevation, and Mililani has I will give you most of the seasons feeling, okay? Now it's not going to snow in Mililani, all right, but it does get very, very cool and breezy in the fall and winter, okay? So you get a little bit of everything when you live in Mililani, okay? Now military do often move out from the proximity because they don't mind driving a little bit, all right? Some of us have lived on the mainland. I was stationed also in Stewart. I was stationed as Stewart over there in Hinesville, and we decided that we didn't need to live necessarily right next to base, and we lived in a town about 30 minutes away from base, and I didn't mind that. So if you don't mind driving a little bit further to base, just to give you an idea, we live in Ewa Beach. My wife actually works up in a building right next to Schofield. So to give you an idea of the drive, my wife typically leaves here around 6:15 and gets to work pretty early. So it typically takes her about 20 to 25 minutes to get to work, and she essentially just takes Kunia Road all the way up. Sometimes she'll go to H2, but typically takes Kunia Road all the way up, and it's not that bad from Ewa Beach. So a lot of military do look for the communities that Ewa Beach and Kapolei provide. Ewa Beach and Kapolei provide very nice, family-friendly townhome communities, and Kapolei is also the second city. If you haven't seen any of the playlists or the videos that I've done, please head over to the channel after this video. I've got tours and tons of things happening, but Ewa Beach, Kapolei have been covered on this channel if you want to get a feel for how those communities look and the style, okay? And they're a lot closer to the beach. If you're talking about being closer to the beach, then these definitely may be the communities for you. Some single military members do want to try the town life. Now, if you're gonna decide that you wanna live in town, which is what we call Honolulu or Waikiki, by all means, but I will make you aware of the drive that's gonna have to happen. Drive necessarily won't be bad because of the time, you just have to mind it. You gotta get out of Waikiki, you've gotta get on the freeway, and then you're gonna head west, and then you're gonna head north, and so it's gonna be a little bit longer of a drive. Just make yourself aware of that. But these are some of the communities that a lot of military members, family members do often buy houses in these communities. And when we talk about buying real estate and you've decided that, you know what, I'm getting paid all this BAH and COLA and all these things, and let's go ahead and buy and invest in a house, right? And then we can talk about those long-term goals with that house if you want to rent it out and use it as an investment vehicle for you when you move, or if you wanted to sell it when you move, in these types of things. Sea Country is another community, and I have helped military service members buy homes out in Sea Country. Sea Country is on the west side, and it is in a little town called Maile or Maile. Very nice community. I actually have a home tour on this channel as well, when I toured a home to give you a feel of what the home looks like, that you can expect in Maile, which is in Sea Country, which is in Maile. So yeah, you can definitely go check that out, but that's another area where military service members do. Again, a little bit longer of a drive. You've got to expect a long drive time and be okay with that. Hope you got a good podcast, but that's another area that military service members do go live. The last community I will mention is Wahiawa because of proximity. There's not much else to say about Wahiawa as far as that goes. but because of proximity, military family members do decide to live in Wahiawa. We are stationed here at Schofield Barracks, and I've personally seen this with my dad, and I've seen it with my brother-in-law, is that you will get deployed quite a bit. Now, whether that's pathways, which you head out to the Philippines and some other areas, or if you head to the Big Island for training, or you're in the field quite a bit. So, I mean, it's me and my brother-in-law kind of joke around about this, but I'm like, dude, you didn't really get to enjoy paradise that much, huh? It just a little joke with us, but he got deployed quite a bit to doing different trainings and different things. Now, I don't necessarily mean deployed like, you know, to the Mideast and everything like that, but you will spend quite a bit of time doing trainings in other areas, so just keep that in mind. If you are PCSing to Hawaii and you want to consider investing in a home out here, maybe you want to use it as an investment vehicle for your future, for your family. Maybe you want to use it as your retirement for when you do get out of the military. You want to come back and have a place here for you already. You can get a hold of me, you can shoot me a text, send me an email, get on a Zoom call with me. You can schedule that down in the description below. However you want to get a hold of me, alright? I love having these conversations, and I got your back when making that move to Hawaii. If you want to start seeing some of the other areas that I've mentioned in this video, I've talked about having the blog tours and home tours in this video. Those are going to start popping up right now.